Are you ready for some football? That's right, 49ers, Lions, Monday Night Football preview. I got the latest in 49ers news and updates. We're going to go over the Hall of Fame's finalist list, and it's Mock Draft Monday, so we're going to do a live mock draft right here on the air. Get your questions ready. Get your TVs ready. Let's get to some 49ers football right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. What's going on? Faithful to the Bay, a.k.a. 49er Faithful, a.k.a. the best damn fan base in the NFL. Shout out to you guys out there. One time for your mind. It's your boy, the Wayne Breezie. Welcome to the Wayne Breezie Show. I like the applause. It kind of like sets me up moving forward, All right, man, I got to get my Breezy Bunch crew, man. They are out here in the building early, man. Get the air horns ready. Boats in the building with the hashtag. He is already at the stable with the fam. Stadium with the fam. They are ready to go. It's Monday Night Football. First time with the family's going to be on Monday night. You're going to be on TV, Boats. I don't know if you recognize that, but you're going to be on national television. I hope you made a sign that said, follow Breezy Bunch, something like that. That'd be really cool. So shout out to Boats out there. Peachy in the building. Are you ready for some football with the good morning? Guys, make sure you hit that like button, all right? Don't forget to hit that like button. Hit the like button right now. Just smash it, ching, punch it. Do what you got to do. Click it, tick it. Do what you got to do. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, all right? That's point. We are like 8 or 9 away from 6K. 8 or 9 away from 6K, man. I'm almost at the 6K mark. Help me get to 6K. Can we get to that? Monday Night Football, 6K, especially if we get a victory, man. I want to be at 6.5K. We win. But if not, thank y'all so much, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Speaking of support, don't forget, become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. Listen, 2025 is going to be a lot better. I'm figuring things out as I try new things. But 2025, if you're a member of this channel, you are going to love it. Not only do you get the cool perks, we're going to be adding some extra stuff to the channel for those that become memberships. And obviously, the higher the tier you go, the better the perks, right? So go ahead and check that out, man. Shout out to our first super chat from, can I just do this? First of all, you're going to get the first super chat sound. All right, you get the cha-ching. All right, that's number one. Number two, 49ers underscore throwback is one of the greatest 49er faithfuls, content creators. He's one of my moderators, but he's definitely like one of the best moderators out there in the world. I just want to give you a round of applause for just all the hard work that you do. You're posting episodes, you're posting shows, you're telling people to like, you're telling people to subscribe. I don't know why you do this for me, but I love you. I appreciate you. I wanted to thank you on international TV. You got to forget, this is not national. We are worldwide, baby. Shout out. So thank you for the super chat contribution. He says, good morning. Love the emoji, too. I've never seen the morning. I've never seen a morning emoji. I'm about to steal that. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you so much. Same to you and yours as well. Let's hope 2025 is a better year for the 49ers. Score predictions, we're going to get to that at the end of the show. I do not want to miss out on this. 38-16 Lions. Let me ask you this, though. You couldn't give us 17. You couldn't just give us the one extra point. I agree, but come on, man. Give us the 17. Just say Jake Moody's going to hit one field goal. He's going to miss two, hit one. And we're going to, the rest, however, we get 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. I feel like that's where we are. I feel like that's what we're going to do. You gave us 16. I feel like you gave us 16. That means we're going to get 2 touchdowns and a field goal, but 1 missed extra point. I'm just trying to figure out how you got to 16, dog. But I appreciate you, man. Happy New Year to you and your family as well. Happy to you. I see my man Alejandro in the building. Ryan, what's going on, baby? Good morning to you, family. Tanisha in the building. Good morning to the Breezy Bunch crew. Red and Gold Empire. My heart says Niners will win, but my mind says Lions. with my two scores. My mind's telling me no. My bad. Every time I see mind, I automatically go to that song. Not gonna tell you what that song is, but yeah, my mind, I automatically go to that. But nah, Red and Gold Empire. I feel you, bro. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be hard. Let me know. It's gonna be hard to watch, fun to watch. The only thing I'm asking for is that the San Francisco 49ers don't get embarrassed. Now, I expect us to lose. I think everybody out here is expecting us to lose. If we win, it's because we got that slither of hope. But I think we know we're going to lose. I want to know how we're going to lose. It's just not looking really good for the San Francisco 49ers. Not in this game, man. Not only are you missing like every all-pro on the team, you're also missing, you know what I'm saying, like your offensive line that you started the season with. So it's going to be, we're going to talk about that. I promise. I promise we're going to talk about that. Like that, it's crazy. Maya Ridley in the building. She's not a member, but you said something that put a gosh darn smile on my face. Now listen, become a member today. You just click on the join button if you're on the computer. It's hard to do it on the phone. YouTube. You need to figure out how to allow people to join easier from the phone. I'm getting a lot of complaints about that. And we're missing out on a lot of memberships because YouTube won't figure that out. So YouTube, you're watching. I know you watch me because that's what you do. So YouTube, fix that because a lot of people need to know how to do it from the phone. She says tank for Genty. Is it Genty? However you say his name. She's about to run back from Boise State. I know that for a fact. Listen, I promise you, Maya, though, I'm going to be doing my breakdowns of my top 5 or my top 10 players at each position starting really soon. He's definitely number 1, but I got some guys, some running backs that you might like that we don't have to really spend the capital on him. But he's definitely here comes my boy Fair. Fair, when I tell you, you be right on time. Why do we need another running? Because all our running backs get hurt, Fair. Did I just wake the whole house up? My apology to the Hayward household. My bad. Because all our running backs get banged up and they don't finish the season. I can't remember the last time a running back finished the season was last year, and that was Christian McCaffrey. And how's it going this year? That's why. So we're going to draft a running back. Like, we're going to draft a running back. But I got some prospects for you. I promise you. But again, shout out to all the members of the Breezy Bunch group. I appreciate you guys. Fair, I hope I didn't wake up anybody, man. Kev, what's going on? What's going on, Kev? Thomas in the building, too. Thomas says on an Android, I have to watch from the app. Otherwise, I can't comment. All right, so YouTube, you need to fix your apps for Android, even though I'm pro iPhone. But shout out to my Android family. You know what I'm saying? Help us be better. YouTube be sending me a whole bunch of stuff, and this is what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them that they're going to help us be better. All right. So listen, we'll do a mock draft. I promise we'll end the show on a mock draft. It's mock draft Monday. Every Monday we're going to do a mock draft. And I will do my due diligence to, draft this fair. I'm not going to trade. Not really into that. I know, especially. Not yet. It's too early. We haven't watched the Combine. We haven't seen the Senior Bowl. We haven't seen the East-West Shrine Bowl. Let's let that stuff come out. But this early mock draft stuff can be pretty daggone cool, all right? Pretty daggone cool. Let's get to something that I wanted to discuss before we get into what's going on with the Niners in this particular matchup. No 49ers made the 2025 Hall of Fame finalist list. Interesting. Now, for those that don't remember who actually were on the ballot, you had a couple of first-time guys. Joe Staley, left tackle, on the ballot. Anquan Bolden, Vernon Davis, probably one of my favorite tight ends of all time, Vernon Davis. And then you guys remember Antoine Bethea, the safety that we had. He wore number 41. I feel like he made his career in Indianapolis. That's where he was drafted. But he was definitely loved by the faithful, man. He put on some good games. None of them made the finalist list. Those were our first-time Hall of Fame balloters. But Anquan Bolden and Ricky Waters made the semi-finalist list, but no one made the finalist list. And let's just go over the quick. You know what? Can I share this? Can I share a screen? I used to know how to share screens, so let's see if I still know how to share screens. I probably don't. I used to. I tell you what, I'm gonna do it like this. Bam. Let's just share the screen so we could just read the finalist list together, and then we could kind of like give our take on like what the hell. All right, so I have it blown up. Can you guys see it now? There it is. Let me just go ahead and remove that. All right, so here's the finalists. This is NFL.com. They need to work on their website as well. The players, along with their positions, years, and teams are Eric Allen. So Eric Allen, I believe, is going to be the finalist. We got Eric Allen. Guys, remember him, cornerback for Philadelphia Eagles. That's where I really remember him, and I do remember him going to the Saints. Definitely don't remember him playing in Oakland. Jared Allen, I remember him from Kansas City. Vikings was where he really made his stint in the NFL. Willie Anderson, tackle for Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Jari Evans, guard for the Saints and the Packers. Antonio Gates, probably one of the greatest tight ends of all time. We remember him from the Chargers. Torrey Holt, wide receiver, the Rams and the Jaguars. Luke Kuechly, probably like one of the top getters, right? Luke Kuechly from the Carolina Panthers ballot. Eli Manning's going to make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people probably got question marks about Eli Manning, but congratulations to Manning. He's going to be in there. Steve Smith, wide receiver. And pay attention to the wide receivers because that's what we're going to probably discuss. Anquan Bolden was a semifinalist, but Steve Smith's getting in. Terrell Suggs, outside linebacker. We remember him as well. Fred Taylor, running back. Congratulations to Uncle Fred. Fred Taylor, Jacksonville Jaguars. Definitely remember him there. And the Patriots as well. Adam Vinatieri's getting in as the kicker. Reggie Wayne, wide receiver. Okay, so this makes sense now. Okay, so Reggie Wayne, wide receiver, Colts. Darren Woodson, safety from the Cowboys, and Marshall Yonda, guard tackle, who's a combo guy. All right, so let's just start with Joe Staley. I think we kind of can see why Joe Staley isn't going to make this list. I don't think I'm too upset when I looked at and I see who the finalists are. So between Yonda and I think was it Willie Anderson, I feel like they have more prominent careers maybe than Joe Staley. You know, if Joe Staley would have just been able to get one of those Super Bowl wins, you know, he probably would have been up here. He might have he might have been able to make it in on the first ballot. Will Joe Staley make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? I believe so. He's not going to make it in this year, obviously. So maybe 2026. And it's going to get harder. It's going to get harder every single year. It's definitely going to get harder every single year, but it is what it is. I see Ricky Waters, my favorite 49ers running back. That wheel route was perfect. I felt like he perfected the wheel route. And he was a dog. And he was tall, right? What was Ricky Waters? 6'3", 6'4"? I felt like he was tall running back. But I just liked him. I liked his attitude. Kid from Notre Dame, man. Loved him a lot. Remember that one game against the Giants, I believe? He had like 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns. I just remember Ricky Waters. He was definitely one of my favorite. And probably, I guess, next to, I got a question. Next to, let's go best pass catching running backs, top 3. All right, here are my top 3. Roger Craig, Ricky Waters, Christian McCaffrey. It was 5 TDs. I remember, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. I remember it was 4 or 5. I think those are my top 3 pass catching running backs for the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to go Roger Craig, Ricky Waters, Christian McCaffrey. Roger Craig, Ricky Waters, Christian McCaffrey. Now, I know Christian McCaffrey, he should be number 2. I don't know, man. I don't think people remember the Ricky Waters era. And we've had some running backs that were pass catchers, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like Waters, Craig, and CMC, they can literally split out, line up outside, empty the backfield, and be a wide receiver type of running back. So those would be my top 3 pass catching running backs out there. But yeah, I can see why Staley's not on the list. And Anquan Bolden. I know a lot of people, we want Anquan Bolden to make this list, but it was going to be impossible. When you saw Reggie Wayne on the list, as soon as I saw Reggie Wayne, Steve Smith is one of my favorite wide receivers of all time. I can't explain it. All I know is that little mother sucker used to catch everything thrown his way from any quarterback. I can't even tell you who his starting quarterback was Jake Delhomme in Carolina at the time. All I know is Steve Smith was a dog. He's probably the wide receiver that the word dog was first used after. I don't think there was a wide receiver that was a dog before Steve Smith. And Steve Smith definitely backed it up. His stats say it. But Anquan Boldin is definitely one of my faves. I don't know if Anquan Boldin, if it's gonna get tough, more tough every single year, it's gonna be tough for Anquan Boldin making the list because more wide receivers are going to come out. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be tough. But I see why the votes went, in my opinion, why the votes went to Steve Smith and Reggie Wayne. I just see why. I'm not mad. Do I want my Niners in? Absolutely. But I'm not a homer when it comes to being fair. I'm not gonna pull up their stats, but Steve Smith was a dog. Steve Smith was definitely a dog. Shout out to Christy Marie, moderator, as well as a member of the channel. Appreciate you, Christy. Let's go with the next position. I think the 49ers want to know why Vernon Davis didn't get in. I think Vernon Davis was having a career like Kyle Pitts until he was told to be gone off the football field from Mike Singletary. I feel like that's when, and Vernon Davis was always the freak athlete, the guy, he was good, whatever, but he struggled with catching the pass. When you look at the tight end that's making the Hall of Fame, his name is Antonio Gates. You would literally have to be like Gronk to knock Gates off this list. You know what I mean? I don't think there's enough, or Travis Kelce that'll possibly give Gates a run for the money. Right? Those are, and in that case, you probably take both of them in. I think that's why Vernon Davis didn't make the Hall of Fame list. Just in my opinion, I don't think that's, Antonio Gates was a dude. He was a former basketball player, could go up and catch just about. He was a red zone threat. He moved the chains, ran great routes, had great footwork, didn't care about speed, hard to bring down to the ground. And Vernon Davis was great, but I feel like it took him too long for his career to kind of take off. Mike Singletary, I want winners. I can't really get his, don't bother me, what's good. I can't really get his tone in my head right now, but I want winners. I want winners. Winners. Yeah. I remember Vernon Davis leaving and crying. And when he came back, when Vernon Davis came back, from that moment, I don't know if he cut his hair or what, Vernon Davis became a monster. He became a monster. And isn't Vernon Davis the one that we labeled for the catch 3? I think Terrell Owens was the catch 2. Dwight Clark was the catch 1. Vernon Davis against, was it the Saints? The New Orleans Saints? If I'm not mistaken, Alex Smith, Vernon Davis, right? Man, you want to talk about emotional? Listen, that I fell to my knees and broke down in tears. That game, man, that game was crazy, and we won that game because of their catch, if I'm not mistaken. So. Listen, Vernon Davis, man. Peachy said, "Yeah, that was so awesome." I literally fell and broke down to my knees, man. So that's your finalist list for the Hall of Fame. Are we mad that no 49ers actually made the finalist list? I'm gonna be the first to say no. I showed you the whole list. We went through the list. I'm okay with it. I think the list is sufficient. I think it's right. I think they got it right. I think the voters got it right. You put the body of works there. You put what they did, what they accomplished, all pro, Super Bowl, all that stuff. I like it. So I think that the Hall of Fame writers, the voters, the ones that do the voting, I think they nailed it. Regardless if none of my 49ers actually made it into the Hall of Fame this year, there will be other opportunities. And we'll just see what happens down the line. I'm still mad that Roger Craig's not in the Hall of Fame, but his name not even on the list. So, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's the list right there. Shout out to Felicia in the building. We got the Breezy Bunch crew be in. You know what I like? I be switching the times up on y'all, and y'all just don't know what's going on. But that's why you got to put your alerts set to all and leave that joint on. Keep the bell on. Don't have it for specific shows. Just keep it on, period. I'm going to be changing up some things though in 2025 as far as timing and things. I got scheduling changes and stuff like that. But you guys will definitely be well informed. Don't forget to hit that like button. Smash it right now. Psh, 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 psh. Click, click, click. Right, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. All right, so let's get down to what's going on with the San Francisco 49ers. We got the players that have been already ruled out. We got the Detroit Lions coming into town. I don't think anybody feels like we're going to be victorious. I think we want to win. We know we're going to lose. But again, how do we lose is going to be the question. Or how do we win? However you want to look at it. Half full, half empty. It's up to you. I'm super optimistic. You know me. There's always a inkling of a feeling that I feel like the Niners can win a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because they're the Niners. Just because they're the Niners. And listen, bad team, bad luck, bad play calling, bad execution, all of it. All of it's been bad. But at the end of the day, we support this team. And I think we feel like deep down inside, like my man said, my heart's telling me we're going to win, but my mind is playing tricks on me right now. We know. So come on, man. But here's who's going to be out. So Spencer Burford's out with the calf injury. Aaron Banks going to be out. His knee injury. He's going to be probably headed to the IR before the game. Robert Bill Jr. is going to be out with an ankle, so that's one less edge rusher. But I think we'll probably supplement that with a little Alex Barrett. Linebacker Dre Greenlaw is out with the calf injury, and Charvarius Mooney Ward is going to be out with personal reasons, but he's going to be helping to deliver his first baby boy. So congratulations to Charvarius Ward. All the stuff that's been going on, man, this is a blessing for him and his family. Trust me, he's gonna be doing his due diligence away, probably watching the game on television in the delivery room. But yeah, man, congratulations to Charvarius Ward and his family as well. So those are the guys that are going to be out in this game. Here's some guys that are going to be questionable. Safety Jair Brown's dealing with an ankle injury. Tackle Colton McKivitz with a knee injury, and linebacker Tatum Bethune, who has been, I think he's going to be actually probably elevated to the roster from the IR. Like the window open. I think he's going to play. Me personally, they need linebackers. I think he's going to be out there. He's going to be good to go, in my opinion. But he's coming off of the IR with a knee injury. So I don't want people to think he hurt his knee. No, that's why he went to the IR in the first place. So since that window is open, I believe he's going to be called up. He's probably going to be one of the active players on tonight. Now let's look at what this offensive line may look like. Talk about Cole McKivitz. Cole McKivitz may be out. So, if Cole McKivitz is out, we're gonna have to do some supplementing, right? So Austin Pleasance, which was one of the players that they got, is gonna probably be the left tackle. Your guard's gonna be Nick Sakel, guy that's been in the system for a couple of seasons. Play left guard. That's new. So that's new, right? Jake Brendel the same. That's your cohesiveness, consistency. For Brock Purdy, you don't want to really change the center up, right? Nah, like just let it ride out. At least that's the one person Brock kind of, has that rapport with. And then Dominic Pooney, who's been the best offensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers, will still be good to go. I think he's having a hell of a rookie season. Clap it up for Dominic Pooney out there. Had a couple of games where he struggled a little bit, but you change up things on the offensive line, it's going to change the continuity of it, but he's still holding for. And then right tackle will be Charlie Heck if Colton McKivitz can't go. So you know what? I guess the question is, my question to you out there that are watching the live show, my question is, what do you expect offensively in this game? We didn't do a game plan show due to the holiday, so we didn't get John Chapman's game plan this week, and it's all good. But what do you expect from the offense? Like, how do you expect the offense to come out and find some type of consistency, some cohesiveness? Don't forget to check out my keys to victory right up there, right? It's right. It's live. It's on right, and it's available right now. So don't forget to check out the Keys to Victory. You can also read it on 49erswebzone.com. So you go to www.49erswebzone. Check that out, man. Listen, if I post some articles on Webzone, do me a favor. Read them and then share them. That's all I'm asking you to do. That's all you need to do. So read, share. Super easy. But what are you guys expecting from the 49ers offense in this game? I'm just quick to get a couple of comments. We'll start here. Thomas says, I expect to have my feelings hurt. Interesting. Really? I like it. Marty Marv, 49 Empire, not a damn thing. It's still Kyle watered down offense. I love it, man. Let the truth be spoken. I know a lot of people just don't like what Kyle Shanahan has been doing. I was reading some things saying that Kyle needs to be more aggressive like Ben Johnson or whatever. And I'm like, man, like, I don't know if they've been watching football this year, but Kyle's been very aggressive. He's going for it on 4th and down. We talk about 4th and 2, 4th and 3, going for it. He's throwing on 1st down, throwing on 2nd. I don't know how much more aggressive can Kyle be trying to give his offense a little jolt of energy. But hey, man, you guys see what you see. And I love it. 1,000%. I love it. Leon, I expect the top 10 pick. Listen, bro, that might not happen. I can tell you that right now. That may not happen. Ooh, Peachy posted the article link in there. So all you got to do is click on that, right? Boom. My man Corey says, I expect nothing, bro. You guys are some damn Debbie Downers, man. I love it. 1,000%. Observed natural evolution, aggressively making a ton of mistakes. Man, listen. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about if our offensive line was making mistakes with the starters, I'm definitely expecting them to make the mistakes without the starters, right? Like, that's automatic, right? So yeah, mistakes are gonna happen. But here's what I expect. I expect the offense in general, to continue to figure out, you know what I'm saying, like who they plan on being in this upcoming future. You got Brock Purdy out there that's gonna be playing for mega money. Even though he's not going to have, and I'm going to tell you what, if Brock Purdy has a great game, let me just put this caveat out there. If Brock Purdy has a great game and the 49ers win or lose, but he has a great game, the Niners going to have to open up the bank. Now, if he wins this game, the Niners are going to have to open up a couple of banks. I'm just saying, because Brock's career, Brock's everything, he's already, it's not tarnished, but it's definitely been diminished a little bit. I'm sure the Niners don't want to pay him top dollar. They don't want to reset the market at the quarterback position. I bet you Brock's agent is like, listen, man, go out there and do everything you can to let everybody know why you Brock Purdy. And look, if Brock does that, but does it within the game plan of what the offense is asking him to do, I'm all for it. If Brock goes out there gunslinging the football, I'm not all for it. Because that's where those mistakes come from. We talked about mistakes. We haven't talked about Brock turning the ball over like in the last 3 games, like turning the ball over. Like when Brock doesn't turn over the ball, the Niners win. It's weird. So he's got to find a way to not be dwindled in or suckered into that. To me, the strength of their defense, which is their secondary. You look at the Detroit Lions, man, their safeties are problems, both of them. And then they got the young rookie quarterback. Because if I'm throwing, I'm attacking the rookie. I know, Tyrion Arnold, listen, you're going to be good one day, but you ain't good now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think the Niners come out with the game plan of attacking, quick throws, screens, everything to elude that secondary, to make them come up, to make them tackle. Because they're gonna stack the box. They're gonna try to stack the box, right? They're gonna take away the run game. Isaac Orendo, Patrick Taylor, whoever's running the ball for the Niners, they're gonna try to take it away. Maya says design runs for Debo, drop pack passes to JJ and Pearsall. I need quick throws to Ricky today. I want to see Ricky in space. I know what Jawan Jennings can do in space. I like this. I want to see Ricky catch the ball quick on the slant. We seen it last week. I want to see it this week. Give him the ball, quick slant, and let him get going. I really think we get back to, I think you have to be efficient when you're playing a team as aggressive as the Detroit Lions. I know Glenn is going to have his defense very aggressive, but they make mistakes and they don't have a lot of their key players up front. You know what I'm saying? So the Niners, if Kyle Shanahan could find a way to counter that just a little bit, set the tone offensively. Like, set the damn tone, right? Come out there, punch him in the mouth. I know one player, and y'all might not respect him, but I know one player. Deebo Samuel is going to probably come out playing with a chip on his shoulder. I don't think he wants to go into 2025 like a sucker. Like, that's just, to me, that's just not his mentality. And we could say it's too late. We could say it's whatever. Listen, the Niners have an opportunity of doing something, and that's kind of like knocking the Lions off of that number 1 seed. Alberto Soto with a question. Let's see what your question says. Can the Lions still win the division if they lose today and beat Minnesota next week? If I'm not mistaken, the Lions have to win both games to win the division. Isn't that crazy? So they got to beat the Niners, so that means they got to play, and then they got to beat Minnesota, and then they win the division. But if they lose and Minnesota beats them, they lose the division. The Detroit Lions are playing for the number 1 seed. That's why I know they're going to come up, they're going to show up, they're going to ball out. You know what I mean? That's just my thoughts. They're going to come out, they're going to ball out. So I'm hoping that the Niners come out and they be ready for it. Not a Cali boy, what's going on, fam? Just jumping on. Have you spoke about how dumb it is to play Brock Purdy in these absolute meaningless games? You know, I respect that. I do respect that. I respect you, but I respect that comment because I understand. But I don't think it's dumb. Me personally, I don't think it's dumb at all. This is adversity, right? And if I'm paying a quarterback $80 billion, I know it's not that much. That's what it's going to seem like. I need to know what he's going to be like in adversity if, God forbid, this really happened to him and they were in a winning season and he loses his offensive line. I want to know what Brock can do. It's not raining. So other than the Brock not having his offensive line out there, he's got his center. He's got his guard. Brock's going to have to figure out a way to make this offense work. Regardless. This could be a season that mattered. We'd be in the same situation. Would you not play him if the season mattered and he had no offensive line? Yes. So you got to kind of play him because you got to get him into, hey, Brock, this is what it might be like. You might be working with a bunch of rookies next year on the offensive line. They should be better prospects if we draft them. Or then again, who knows? It might not be Trent Williams anymore for the rest of our lives. It might not be. Brock's got to get used to playing with an offensive line. Brock issue. Last week, the offensive line gave up tons of pressures. One of those sacks was on Brock. A couple of the sacks, I think 2 of them were on Brock. He held the ball too damn long for one. One, he tried to get out of the pocket. And I think the other one was just giving up pressure. I can't remember if it was on Jalen Moore or Colt McKinson. It was on one of them. Anyway, my point is, Brock's going to have to figure out how to play under pressure. Like, this is football. Like, this is football. So, can Brock get hurt? Yep. Just like anybody else out there that put on those pads, they can all get beat up. They can get hurt. They can get bruised. But it's football. And I think the players know that. I think what the players want, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, your captains, those guys, I think they just want to find a way to win. You know, I do. I don't think the Detroit Lions, unless they blitz, I don't think their pressure rating is that great. I mean, this team's been giving up 40 points, 42 points, 38 points. They've been giving up tons of points lately. So the defense can't be that good if it's giving up that many amount of points. The question is, can the 49ers get their offense flowing? I just watched the New York Football Giants attack a good defense in the NFL. I just did. Wasn't expecting it. You know, no, I wasn't expecting it. I picked up the Colts defense. I dropped the Bills defense thinking that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams was going to connect. They were trying to break a record. And I picked up the Colts, and the Colts got me negative points. I'm just saying, these defenses, man, anything can happen out there on the football field. It's all how you come out and you punch them in the mouth. If the Niners offense comes out and punches, Glenn's defense in the face, it's going to be a good game. Because then everybody's going to be like, oh, we moved on this great defense. I think their defense is good. I think their offense is what wins them games. I think their defense just, if you could score, if you're an offense that can score, it's going to be a shootout. So I'm not comparing this to the Giants. I'm just saying the way our season is looking, you watched a bad team all season, didn't win a home game, come out and punch a team that was fighting to get into the playoffs. They knocked the Colts out of the playoffs. And I think the Giants did the dumbest junk ever because they also lost the first pick of the draft. But you know what? They don't give a fuck. Nobody cares about the pick of the draft except for 49er fans. I don't get it. They don't care about the first pick because they might feel they don't care. Period. They just didn't care. Obviously. Or Drew Lock made a boo-boo. One of the two things happened. But I'm not comparing this to the Giants. I'm just saying anything can happen. The Giants went out there. They defeated a team that was fighting to get into the playoffs. Their playoff hopes was on the line, and they got punched in the mouth. The Giants came out, punched them in the mouth. I think if you come out and you punch this team straight up in the mouth, we talk about juggernaut. I'm not saying the Colts were a juggernaut, but you come out and you punch the Detroit Lions in the mouth, you can win. If Brock Purdy is just on his game, you can win. If you're running the ball successfully, you can win. If you don't turn over the ball, you can win. Like, these are the things that we need to see our Niners go into 2025, knowing that our team is terrible. If we could just limit the freaking mistakes, man. Don't give them the opportunities. You already know Jared Goff going to come out and fall down and act like he's falling down just to throw a play-action pass to a wide-open wide receiver, tight end, running back. We know these things are going to happen. The question is, will Nick Sorensen be prepared for the tricks? Will he? That's the question. Because I can tell you right now, here's my thing. I understand that the Niners are bad. I accept it. But my thing is, Nick Sorensen should be playing for a job too. Right? We can't just sit here and say that the players are playing for a job. Nick Sorensen should be playing for his job too. If Nick Sorensen comes out here, I don't want to hear, oh, I didn't have Greenlaw. Oh, you had him all season. You had him 2 games, 1.5 games at that. I don't want to hear any excuses if Nick Sorensen's defense gets embarrassed. And it should happen. Like, I'm telling you that the Detroit Lions, the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL, should embarrass Nick Sorensen. This should be the game that gets him fired. Period. End of discussion. Drop the mic. No second chances. This got to be the game. I need my head coach to be consistent with it too. Because I know what game got Steve Wilkes fired, but this needs to be the game. Now, if Nick Sorensen comes out and finds a way to plug and stop that explosive offense from scoring 33 points a game, damn nabbit, we gonna have some conversations. We're gonna have to have those tough conversations. I'm just saying, we got to be fair, because if he gets blown out and embarrassed, he got to go. But if he finds a way to keep this team from scoring and this team wins, damn, we got to have the conversation. Do we want it? He played well against the good team. He just sucked against the terrible teams. I don't even want to have the conversation. I actually want the team to get blown out, so that way there should be no freaking way he's coming back next season as defensive coordinator. He can come back as defensive ball boy, defensive assistant ball boy, defense, what else they do on the defense? He can come back as something else. He can go back to coaching secondary for all I care. But there's no way, unless he finds a way to get his team to hold, if you can hold the Lions to, let's say, 17 points, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. If you could hold the Lions to 17 points, there's a potential the Niners could potentially win. Call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But look, man, it is what it is. All right, I tell you what. Drop your score predictions. How about you do that? Drop some score predictions in here. And it's all score predictions are welcomed, okay? Because I know that the score predictions should be all in favor of the of the freaking Lions. And I'm cool with that. If you see me check in, wait a minute. Can somebody tell me what's wrong with Vegas? Because all right, so I'm not a Vegas person. Like, you know, I mean, I go there to eat, right? I go there to an event, right? I don't understand the number stuff. Hear me out. How is it that the Lions are only favored by 3.5 points? Can somebody tell me that? Chess Ready says 48-12. 48-12. There would be no Moody slander in my chat. No, I'm just playing. Slander his ass. Everybody can get it. No one is safe. Everybody better be locked in. That's how the 49ers win. Everybody got to be locked in. Chess Ready Lions, 48-12. No, don't give up 48 points. Not on the home field, baby. Don't bother me, 35-13. We getting 17 points. I don't give what nobody say. We scoring 17. So there's going to be a 17 in my score. Marty Marr, 49 Empire, 45-10. Peachy, 45-17. She gave me my 17. I'm getting 7. We getting 17 points. We averaging about 17 points over the last few games. We getting 17. That's 1,000%. I can tell you that right now. 41-21. My man, can we not give him 40 though? But you know what? It's your score prediction. I'm not going to be mad at it. But I am happy we scored 21 though. That's 3 touchdowns. That's 3 touchdowns, Lake. That's 3 touchdowns. I'm with it. I'm about that life. We get 3 touchdowns. I'm about that life. I'm about it. Because I think you could put up. They give up. On average, nobody's even talking about that. We're talking about how great the Lions defense is. We should be really talking about how bad the 49ers offense is. But the Lions defense, hold up. I ain't got time to look on the internet because I got receipts. I got pictures. Let me just see how much they average defensively. All right. Oh, damn. Never mind. They only giving up 20 points. Yeah, their defense is good. They give up yards, but they don't give up the points. Whoops. And they don't let you run. So it's going to be 50-6. Damn, Gina. Really? 50 points? If the Niners give up 50 points. All right, let me ask you this, Thomas. How many of those 50 points is the defense giving up? I'll wait. How many points is the defense out of your 50? How many points the defense giving up? Felicia, 24-20. Felicia, you know what? Why do I feel like this is what the game is going to be like? Why do I feel like this is what the game? And you put the Niners in there? Psh. Why do I feel that way? Corey, 35-20. David R, 40-9 Niners. What? 40-9. I like it though. I see what you did there. But 40-9, I ain't mad at you, player. Niner Cowboy 38-10 Lions. Alberto 28-17. Alejandro, who you picking though? 23-21. I'm assuming you're going with the Lions here. Just assuming. I could be wrong. I don't want to assume. Standing firm. 38-13 devoured by the Lions. Just up at 4 more points. 38-17, I agree with you. 38-17. That's the Lions defense is they good, but they ain't that good. They beatable. I mean, I know we watched the Bills put up 40 plus, but that's Josh Allen. But it's because the Bills ran. They ran the ball. Just got to run the ball. Find a way to run the ball. Now, I don't care if they fourth against the run. Find a way to run the ball. Debo, Ricky, can I get a Jacob Cowing run? Just don't put Jawan Jennings in the backfield. Let them be down the field. Another 50-6. What is this 50? What are we doing? I'm going to tell you right now, Thomas and Chess, if the 49ers defense give up 60 points, 50 points, 50 points, if they give up 50 points, I'm going to need every 49er faithful to fire Nick Sorensen. I want the petition of firing Nick Sorensen out there. Hashtag fire Sorensen. Fire Sorensen. Fire. If we give up 50 points, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, that's ridiculous. All right, here's the update on the Detroit Lions. They got 2 players out. One player, I'm glad he's out because I think I mentioned him on something. And David Montgomery is not playing in this game. So there'll be no David Montgomery. So that means that their run game is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs mixed with a little Craig Reynolds, mixed with a little rookie Sione Vaki. But the X factor in that run game isn't Jahmyr Gibbs. It would be Jameson Williams. And if the Niners aren't prepared for the wide receiving running out of the backfield on some jet reverse sweep, I don't understand. You know what I don't understand? I don't understand how we created that. We reinvented it. We made it better than we've seen it in any season of the NFL except for now, because now we can't run it right. And now we're watching other teams do it against us, and we can't stop it. I'm trying to figure out how something we reinvented, our defense is never prepared to stop it. We're talking about the jet sweep. And we're talking about the wide receiver coming from one side, running around, getting the ball in the backfield, and run to the other side like he stole something and not getting caught. I'm trying to figure out why the Niners defense, who practices against it every single practice, it should be. Maybe that's why we can't stop. Maybe we don't practice the jet sweep anymore. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why we suck at running it too. Maybe it's something that's not practiced. I don't know. I don't have the answers. But Jameson Williams, jet sweeps, just be mindful. That's how they scored first in that NFC Championship game. I don't know if y'all remember that. It wasn't a David Montgomery run. He had a big run, but it wasn't his run that scored. It was the reverse. All right, Khalif Raymond, wide receiver, is going to be out. He's dealing with a foot injury. Questionable. Linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maben is questionable. And everybody else that was listed on their report, Glasgow will be back out there at their guard. They got an offensive line. I'll tell you that right now. They got an offensive line for sure. They do. I'm not going to lie. They do. They got an offensive line. I can't believe you said 50 points. 50? Damn. 50 points is, I'm starting to petition. Fire Sorensen. And you know me, I'm the nicest. I don't want to fire anybody. But I want us to keep that shit consistent. I watched us fire a defensive coordinator who didn't give up near damn half the point. He might gave us some explosive plays, but we also led the league in interceptions last year. I ain't going to tell you where we are this year. Let that sink in. It is what it is. It is what it is. My score prediction is going to be, I'm picking the Lions because I said I was going to pick the Lions. I'm going to go 28-24 Detroit Lions. They're going to get the ball down in the fourth quarter, and they're going to get the win. Don't ask me how. That's just what I'm going with. 28-24, the Detroit Lions. Damn, sucks. It is what it is. That's where I'm going. Now, listen, I promised you guys every Monday I'm going to start looking into some of these players. I've been doing my research. Lately, I've been doing my research. So I'm getting into draft mode. I got the Senior Bowl coming up. Getting prepared for that. Gonna be working on my stuff. Gonna be working on a document for stuff like that and things like that. So I'm putting together stuff on the website. Gonna be working on that as well, as far as the Senior Bowl candidates and who to look at, who fits the Niners, who the Niners may stay away from, stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I just love the 49ers so daggone much. 49ers Throwback says, Wayne, you obviously haven't seen Green Bay and Minnesota, man. The way they played each other yesterday tells more about Kyle neglecting the offensive line. Don't seem to have trouble moving the ball. All right, so let me put this out there, okay? You don't have to agree with me. Do I agree that Kyle Shanahan has neglected the offensive line? No, I don't agree with that because they have addressed it. What I think they haven't done is they haven't addressed it properly. They've tried in free agency. They got people that they've drafted. These guys just don't hit. They're not. I don't know if they're scouting right, scouting wrong. Clearly, they haven't been scouting right? Because when you say we've neglected the offensive line, I feel like that's not true because we've drafted players. Like Cole McKivitz is starting. We drafted him a few years back, right? You got Spencer Burford. He started all last year. Now he's out, obviously, with the injury. Who else? Nick Zakel's going to be playing. So they've addressed the offensive line. I think with Dominic Pooney, they got it right. I think with the other players, when they addressed the offensive line, they got it wrong. So when it comes to addressing the offensive line, I think they've been doing it. It just hasn't hit. So what the Niners need to do is they need to reevaluate the offense, period, right? Moving forward. If Pooney is the guy that you hit on, then let him be the prototype of what you're looking to build your offensive line with. And now take whatever of these 11 picks and focus your scouting on players that fit so that the Niners can definitely build the offensive line the right way. I think the difference with these other teams is that earlier in the drafts, like the Packers, Green Bay, you mentioned two good teams because they both took players that I wanted. Right? Because I thought the Niners would go that route. Whether you're talking center, whether you're talking guard, whether you're talking tackle, I thought the Niners would go that route. Just think about all the players the Niners missed on that were offensive linemen, but they went in a different position, right? They went for a different position in the draft. So they missed out, right? But they did address it, but they just missed out on a lot of top prospects. I really think this is the year. I do. I think this is the year that Chris Forrester gets to pick his top prospect. He hasn't had one. Dominic Pooney wasn't one. He is just panned out to be a guy. That's still a third-round pick. I think this year they failed Mike McGlinchey. That was their first offensive lineman pick, right? Or was it who do we draft? Right, yeah, it was him. It was Mike McGlinchey, I believe, was this first regime's offensive lineman. I remember that because when Kyle Shanahan came in 2017, they drafted defensive guys. All right, so this was that was their first. He was good in the run game. He was terrible in pass pro. Stay away from Notre Dame offensive lineman. That's where I am with that. You missed out on the one because the coach took that. Ballard took the guy we wanted in Nelson. But I think the Niners, this is the year, man. I think this is the year 49ers throwback. I really do. So I disagree with you saying that we haven't addressed it, but we definitely haven't addressed it the proper way with the right prospects. They just had they waited too late. They got bad picks. They got, just guys haven't panned out. They drafted offensive linemen. They're just not working. So I think this is the year Chris Forrester is going to get him a guy or two. Looking at some of the centers in the draft, not big on a lot of the centers in the draft. Definitely not big on a lot of the centers in the draft. But I hope the Niners look to address center and free agency. That's my thing. All right, let's get to this. Speaking of draft, let's get to my mock draft. It's Mock Draft Monday, so let's get to this real quickly, and then I'm going to let you guys go, and you guys can enjoy y'all day. All right, so we're going to do the 7 rounds. All full 7 rounds. Right now, we're still currently picking 11th. All right, we're still currently picking 11th out there. So that's good. Will we be a top 10 pick? Well, that comes down to we win tonight, lose against Arizona. I just don't think the Niners are going to go out losers. That's just my personal opinion. I think they'll be drafting top 15 for sure. So top 15, and there's still guys that the Niners, I think, will pick up. So let's see who they have available for us on today. All right, now you already know that I feel like that first pick needs to be a freaking tackle. Like it just needs to be a tackle, period, point blank. Let the tackle be the guy and leave it at that. Like don't overlook it. I'm offensive tackle. My apologies. Offensive tackle. Offensive tackle. Like let's go offensive tackle. Why? You really gotta start preparing for the exit of Trent Williams. And if you bring in a tackle right now, let's say Trent gives you one more season. You bring in a tackle right now. This tackle can definitely play on the right side for a year as he's redshirting on that right side. It'll be an upgrade, in my opinion, over Colton McKivitz. You know what I'm saying? Upgrade over Colton McKivitz. And I think that's what you do. You draft a tackle. Now, let's just see the tackles that are available. There are a couple of guards I know we can get a little bit later in this draft, so I'm not going to be high on the guard. There's not a guard right now that's like wooing me. Now, I'm going to go through some of these tackles as far as what I know about them. Kelvin Banks is on the list, so he's my number one. But here's the issue with Kelvin Banks, right? The issue is he's on the shorter side. So do you want to go 6'3"? As a tackle, 6'6", like literally shorter, 6'3", 6'4" as a tackle, or do you want the 6'6" guy? Like that's the question. Like I don't know if he's a Niner fit by trait, but he's definitely right now the best option. I like Ariante Ursery. I think he's like probably one of the perfect fits. And so, like, when you look at tackle, again, you want to see the flexibility, okay? You want to see, can they play? What do the Niners like more than anything? They like versatility, okay? You got to look at that. I like Ariante, his versatility. Look at his run blocking grade, his pass blocking grade. Pay attention to the zone grade. So when I'm looking and when I'm scouting my tackles, I'm really looking at how well do they play in the zone scheme, because that's Kyle Shanahan's offense. That's it, period. Zone scheme. That's how I'm looking. Now, he had a better 2023 year, but again, man, I'm not going to waste time. It's Kelvin Banks. He's right there. That's the guy I want. Now we got to talk, where are we going to go next? Do we go edge? Do we go defensive interior? I personally need another 6'4" motherfucking stout guy. Now, we could go 6'4", 250, we can go with the speed, or we can go with the freaking, the power like a Nick Bosa. And so the guy, I see Landon Jackson here from Arkansas. He's really good. Definitely not my favorite out of these. You can see his run defensive grade, because I need to know, when it comes to the edge, how well do they set the edge? How well do the 49ers the rushers set the edge? Are they good against the run? I think that's most important for me. You don't want to teach them that. You want them to be good. I think the Niners have enough players that are like one-trick ponies. You got Robert Bill Jr. with speed. You got Drake Jackson that's going to be returning. If you're going to go edge, it's this guy. It's this guy, Princely, Uman. I'm going to stop there. Just look at him. These are Nick Bosa comparable numbers, 6'4", 255. Just love the measurables. When you look at the stats and you look at what he did, he's out there making plays. Just look at the pressures and you total them all up, you're going to get enough in one season. And the cool thing is, he's just progressed, right? He progressed every season, and he took a little deep dip in 2023 for his grade. But just look at it, man. 11 sacks, 11 hits, 24 hurries. This is a guy that I really like. He lines up outside the tackle, so he's an edge guy. He's not going to be a tweener. You're not going to put him in over the tackle in the 3-4. It's a 4-3 edge. Get me this guy. This is the guy that I want. I keep mocking him in a lot of the drafts. Love Jack Sawyer too. I'm going to be breaking down every position and putting 10 players in each position that I think fit the 49ers. Jack Sawyer is another one, especially if you want to go against that Big Ten competition. But Ole Miss produces some really good football players. Remember Patrick Willis? I'll just leave it at that. All right, so there we go. So I have dressed both of the trenches, okay? I addressed both of the trenches. Paul Anderson, what's going on, baby? I addressed both of the trenches. Now, look, We're pick 75. We're in round 3, pick 75 we have. I'm not going to double up on the tackle. I see a wide receiver here. I see a couple of tight ends here. I really think the Niners need to be better at the tight end position. I think the tight end position has been lacking. The issue to me with the tight end position, they haven't been able to run the ball well. Have you noticed we haven't been able to run the ball well since the exit of Charlie Warner? I don't know if people are paying any attention to that. And if you look at how well they're playing in Atlanta, Bijan Robinson having a phenomenal season. Isn't this crazy though? Isn't this crazy? It's crazy. Now, I definitely know we need some cornerbacks. I don't know if we're gonna go outside guy or if we focus on a safety or focus on the nickelback position, because I really want Demo playing outside. I really feel like he's the best guy to play outside. I see a couple of players I like. Will Lee the third is there. Dorian Strong from Virginia Tech. Oh, this kid from South Carolina is there. Really like him. So he's not great against the run, but if you look at his zone coverage, we play zone. Or if that's another thing, are we switching to man? If we're switching to man, then we're going to be S out of luck. I don't think there's a bunch of good man corners in this particular draft. It's not the draft for cornerbacks, but then you really want to focus on guys that really fit that man. So now you talk about putting a person on an island. I don't know what type of defense. We used to be a zone defense. I think that's the way we go. So I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to go corner here. I don't think the Niners will draft a wide receiver high, even though I like Trey Harris from Mississippi. But I love this tight end from Bowling Green. Okay? I love the tight end from Bowling Green. I love Harold Fannin Jr. You could treat him like a wide receiver. And I can tell you right now, man, he's just a receiving grade. His route running is about 3.7 yards per game. He doesn't drop the ball much. 3 drops, forces missed tackles, catches deep passes down the field, 13 contested catches in the field. Look at his deep yards. Now we're talking about if you're going to have a George Kittle, and he's getting a little, and he's going to still be that edge blocking, help with the blocking, now you could put out another weapon. And I think Brock can use just, weapons. Wide receivers, cool, 6'4", 230. Now, I do want to see how well he runs, but if he can get down the field, I like. So I'm going to go tight in here. I'm going to go a little against the grain. Everybody wants me to get a corner, blah, 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 blah. Nah, trust me, there's some guys in here that I can manipulate. I know people don't like that. We want to draft players at their position or whatever. Got 2 third-round picks, all right? So let's get to this next third-round pick. And we pick really early in the 4th round. Now, third-round picks to me always be sold up to 49ers and their running backs, right? So we want some running back. We want a running back that actually fits the system, and I'm going to look at them real quick, I promise. But I did wanted to check to see who was available on the interior. You got the kid. I don't know if we go double up. Guys from Mississippi. I see Simeon from Miami's up here. Shamar Turner's here. I had a little down season. Just trying to see if my guy is here. And I like Howard Cross the third from Notre Dame. I feel like he can plug the middle. I want to go big defensive tackle too. I want to go with that 300-pound kind of guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niner Cali boy, I see your comment in here. I'll definitely check that out. Star. And so guys, you could put your stuff in the chat. I will star it, but let me just get through this really quickly. I do like this kid. And again, I'm looking at somebody that can help stop the run, right? I don't even need my defensive tackles to be able to have great pass rush grades. I just need them to be able to stop the freaking run. Like at this point, like I'm tired of teams running on the 49ers defense. And I think that's what the Niners need to do. I think they need to go ahead and get a guy. This is a big nose tackle. Does he fit the Niners? No. They're kind of like that 304, 305 number. Don't think he'll be a Niner, so I'm not going to draft him. But this is a guy I think the Niners need to, 3-4 defense. You put him out there. Niners don't run a 3-4. But, man, if you could get him to slim down just a little bit, I think he'll be a problem, man. It's all about stopping that run, in my opinion. But I said I wanted to look at some running backs So let me just go check out the running backs real quickly just to see who's available. All right. Taj Brooks is there from Texas Tech. Now look, when I look at running backs, I don't care about like the yards, but the yards per carry, the touchdowns, all of that's there. And I know people don't want me to get a running back, but hey, this dude is available. And I was telling earlier on the show, there's some guys out there. Question is, why draft another running back? Why do this? Because you can, because you need to, and you need to get them in the system as quickly as possible. You're seeing running backs be productive in the NFL. You look at guys like Bucky Irvin. You look at these guys. These aren't first-round draft picks. These are guys that might have gone in the first round. God forbid if the draft went that way because teams were drafting running backs. But listen, Christian McCaffrey's getting older. You got Isaac Guerrero, who's dealing with a lot of hamstring issues. Jordan Mason's going to be on a restricted free agent contract next year. And you don't know if Elijah Mitchell's going to return back to Elijah Mitchell form. So you got to continue to move, for it. Now, he's better graded-wise in between the tackles, and that's why I like him. But I don't know if I want to spend a pick on him real quick. Like, I don't know if I want to spend a third-round pick on him. Taj Brooks is there. That's one guy I wanted to point out. Trevor Etienne is there. That's Travis's brother. Great pass catcher out of the backfield. All right. That's another guy. Cam Skatable. I hope that's how you say his name. From Arizona State. Love this kid. You want zone, gap. That's why I said I don't know if I reach here. But trust me, there's some guys. Love this kid out of Arizona. He's going to be in my top 10 running backs for sure. Trying to see Khalil. I know people don't like Michigan. Trust me, Khalil Mullins is a guy. He doesn't have the breakaway speed, but he's a hard runner, and he gets yards. I mean, he doesn't have like that 4.3 speeds when I say breakaway speed. He's probably a 4.4 guy, 4.4 running back. Could be 4.3. We'll see how the combine pans out. But if I was drafting a running back a little bit later, I could go that round. Let's go check the safety position. Let's check the safeties. There's one safety that's been standing out to me. And that's why these mock drafts can take forever, right? I know as we get closer to the season, we're going to Michael, is it Taff? I like this kid. Too high to draft him right now. So a couple of safeties I like, Michael Taffe from Texas, and I like Upton Stout. Now, Upton Stout is a kid that I think that the Niners would draft and kind of already get him going into the nickelback spot. He plays slot corner very freaking well. Definitely like him. So we'll hold off on him to see if he's available. Let's go look at best player available. Let's see what they're talking about. Ooh, Billy Bowman. I see that name out there, Leon. I see you doing your homework, dog. Oh, Jarquez Hunter from Auburn. How can I forget this kid? Jarquez Hunter from Auburn. How did I miss this guy? You want a hard running back? And look at him, man. 5'10", 209, perfect height. You know what? I'm going best player available. It was either going to be Taj Brooks or Jarquez. Let's go Jarquez Hunter right there, bro. Two offensive players back-to-back for Brock Purdy. It is what it is. That's what I'm doing right now. Don't be mad at me. Charge it to the game. We're into the fourth round. Now, we do need linebacker. We do need a guard. I want to check the interior offensive lineman. I want to see who's available. I see Jaden Roberts. Not a huge fan of him. I feel like my guy is gone. He is gone. Now, Jake Majors is probably one of the top centers coming out of the draft. I'm not really high on Jake Majors. In my opinion, it's just not really high. I look at his zone grade, and I'm like, oh, man, he's not going to fit. Is he a good center? Absolutely. Will he fit this offense? Probably not. So I think I'm more, in my opinion, and I see your comment, Vince, as well. We'll do some of that later, but these are like super early mock drafts, and I need to know what our main draft position is. Once I get the main draft position, we'll do some trading for sure. I just don't know if he's going to fit this particular offense. Jake Majors, in my opinion, I don't know. Tyler Cooper out of Minnesota could be a decent guy. Zone grade is average. We're in the fourth round. I really wanted, I want to see where he went. Let's see where he went. I'm going to show you the guy that I definitely like. Darian Porter is a cornerback that I would like to. Just wanted to show that for those that are out there watching. Where did my offensive lineman go? Who did he go to? Round 3. Tyler Booker from Alabama went. Did they pick him after him? I didn't expect him to go. I don't see him. Oh, Josiah Stewart went to the freaking. Oh man, that would have been a good edge guy. Oh, this kid from Texas A&M was good. He went to the freaking Jaguars. I still don't see my guy. Taj Brooks. See how they went Taj Brooks there? There, he went right before the mother freaking Saints. Back. Man, the Saints, they took Connor Colby, I think, is going to be a stud in the NFL. So for those that don't know who Connor Colby is, he's from Iowa. Check him out. And the Saints picked him right before we drafted. That's what I was going with. Man, Saints ain't itch. All right. I really think they're gonna fill in this line. Let's check out the center. Could play tackle, could play guard, versatile guy. I feel like it's a reach right here to go grab him right now, in my opinion. I don't really care about the grading here. I'm just looking for fits. And I feel like the Niners have a bunch of players that gotta be fits. Let's check out Jacob Parrish, cornerback out of Kansas. You could see his versatility, right? Like, he can line up, he can blitz, right? He lines up, he can play a little nickel. He's definitely an outside corner, can play a little safety. You know, his coverage grade is decent. He's okay against the run. I wouldn't mind going 2 corners here. What do you guys think about Jacob from Jacob Parrish from Kansas State? Let me know what you guys think. Here's another tackle that I like. I don't know if you want me to double up on the tackle spot, but he's definitely he has a little. You know what? I'm going here. I feel like the Niners would draft him at 127 and force him to play inside, like force him to play guard. I feel like this is the Niners thing. You know what I mean? Just the Niners thing. Oh, I missed the tackle from Oregon. I think they both got taken. Ah, man, I didn't get skatable. I've drafted a running back already. We're in round 5. We got 2 5th-round picks. Should we go center here? I don't really think the Niners are going to draft a center. I really don't. I really don't. But here's the cornerback I was telling you with O'Donnell Fortune, right? And if you just look at him, man, this kid's played he's played 674 snaps. He's only allowed 30 receptions. He was targeted 52 times for that many. He only gave up 1 TD, all right? And he got 3 interceptions on the season. I think he can get better in the run, but look at where his coverage grade is, and he's a good zone coverage defender as well as man. I really do like this kid from South Carolina. I might be a reach, but I'm going to go ahead and draft cornerback Fortune. All right, last 5th-round pick, compensatory pick for the San Francisco 49ers. This is one of those picks where they kind of like take a flyer with. Like, they just go out and draft whatever. And, you know, Tommy Hill's another cornerback I like from Nebraska. Let's look at Jay Higgins, man. Let's check this kid out because Iowa has produced some pretty good players. Now, he's on the shorter side of the linebacker, so he's not going to be your Fred Warner typical height style like linebacker, but his weight is definitely perfect. And I know right now I got to pick between it's going to be between getting the linebacker or getting Upton Stout, the safety corner, nickel corner. I just wanted to show you that this guy can play corner. Like he's definitely a nickel. So they have him listed as a safety, but look where he played the majority of his snaps, in the slot. And just look at him, man. He might be this year's Mike Sanders still. Like, from the Washington Commanders, I think that's what he is going to be this year. His coverage grade is decent. It's almost a B, but he's great against the run. 9 coverage stops, 17 run stops. This dude only allowed 1 touchdown all season long. If you're talking about getting somebody that can kind of like, whew, man. But it's Jay Higgins for me, baby. I got to go with the linebackers. A 5th-round pick. It's linebacker for me, and I know I'm going to miss out on my safety, but, I think the Niners do draft a safety. Round 6, where will that pick go? That's going to be the question. I think the Niners are going to get a wide receiver. We didn't dress the interior, so let's look at Darius Alexander. And here's my key. He's the perfect height, weight combination. 6'4". He's in that 310, so he's not like a full-blown nose tackle, and he's not light like in the 290, so he won't get pushed around up front, and that's what I like the most. 630 snaps last year. He had 4 sacks. His pressures are there, but check it out. He is great against the run. We're going to go with my man Darius Alexander from Toledo. I wanted Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. Who was the last player we drafted from Toledo? Was that Samuel Womack III, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Samuel Womack III. All right, we got back-to-back 7th-round picks as of right now. I'm sure this stuff is going to change up. Standing firm. I'm going to need you to get out of my chat and dismiss yourself. Now, I'm just messing with you, dog. Jackson Dart is the quarterback I need the Niners to draft. I want the 49ers to draft Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. I don't think he's available, but we'll check. I think he's gone. He's gone. And that's funny because in a lot of my mocks, like when I did it this morning for Facebook and I put my mocks out there, he was available on both of them. But I feel like the more I put stuff out, the more people start to be like, oh, yeah. I'm just trying to see where he went. And like in this draft, but he's the guy. Like, like he's the guy. If you could get him in the 7th round, it's a steal for sure. And I'm telling you that because the Niners do look to get steals in the draft. They see what they did with Brock Purdy. I'm trying to figure out where he is. Where did he go? Damn. He probably went right before I'm about to draft him, and I just missed it. There it is, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay took him. Tampa Bay took him at pick 235, a few spots before we drafted. So I don't like any of the other quarterbacks for the San Francisco 49ers, but I did say I think we addressed the wide receiver position, and this would probably be a time to do it. Now, when I'm looking at wide receivers, I'm looking at guys that can, create some type of separation. And this is late in the draft, so you're looking at guys that can create separation. And you could tell like who 1.95 yards per route run, like quick throw guy, right? Slot guy. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. 5'11", 180, definitely a slot guy. Probably gonna run a 4.3, 4.2 in the draft. I don't know if the Niners go that route. You got a couple of guys from Colorado. You got Jimmy Horn, Will Shepard. One of these guys I thought was decent. All right, so you got to look at his. Again, slot guys, you're going to get a little bit later. I probably missed out on some of the big dudes, on the guys that we wanted. But I just don't see the 49ers. If they don't see their guy there, they just won't go. They just won't draft a wide receiver. They'll just go undrafted and find some guys to sign. Check out Tommy Mallet. All right, I'm going to get to those comments in 1 second. I'm almost done with this. Did I address the tight end? I did address the tight end position. I like the new feature they have here on PFF. You can go just to do a quick recap. Our first pick, Kelvin Banks, Jr. tackle. We went edge. Princely Uman, Harold Fannin. We dressed the tight end position early, and we went Jarquez Hunter, the running back out of Auburn. We doubled up on the tackle position with Armand Membu because he can play inside. We didn't get the guard that we wanted, so we went with 2 tackles. He could play right tackle. That's where he starts. And then O'Donnell Fortune would be our corner. We got Jay Higgins, the fierce linebacker out of Iowa. We went Darius Alexander on the interior. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to probably go best player available. And so let's just see who we have. Don't think we double up there. You know what? Let's go with the kid from Texas State. Let's go with the quick guy from Texas State. We'll get another slot guy. And we got back-to-back picks here. Did I get my safety? I didn't. I didn't get the safety. Did we get another kid from Vanderbilt? Let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. Boom. That's our draft on today. All right. I'm going to check out some of these guys. Let's just see what they gave us as far as grade-wise. They gave us an A for Banks, A- for Princely. I definitely reach for getting a tight end, but you guys will love tight end. You will love tight end. I promise you will love Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green. Jarquez Hunter, we drafted a running back probably way too early. We got a B- when we addressed the trenches and the cornerback position. A couple of C pluses. Overall, a B. Solid draft for me. I think this is a pretty solid draft. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section of the show for sure. And let me get to some of the questions before we dip up out of here, man. We've been here for over an hour and 20 minutes. I appreciate you guys for rocking out with me. I definitely love when you guys are here, man. It makes the show go by so much better. My man Matthew earlier says, Breezie, I just want to say you turned my Christmas day around that morning. It came out to be great, so thank you. 2730 Niners. All right, man, I'm so glad I was able to help you out on Christmas Day, bro. Glad you were able to tune in, and I'm glad that that day was magical for you, and I'm glad that you picked the Niners. You are on point. I love it. I love it a lot. Not a Cali boy. Tight end from Penn State would be a great Kittle replacement. I like how you're thinking of like replacing Kittle because he is getting older. I think that's dope. I still want to compliment him though. And I'm gonna check the tight end out for sure. But I still think we can compliment Kittle. We need to give him another threat. Put another threat out there. Niners 12 personnel, 22 personnel. I would like to see that a little bit more. But I don't think they trust the Eric Saubert and things like that, and so they definitely need another tight end, whoever that might be. Leon Castle says Justin Jolie is another sleeper, but he'll probably be an undrafted. He breaks tackles. That's another tight end. Vince was saying you should trade down if you want to run it back, recoup some capital. So that means trade back, right, in the draft, get a few more picks, you know what I'm saying, and let it happen. Listen, there's some running backs that fit what we need 1,000%. Again, we're doing this way premature. We haven't seen their all-star games yet. We haven't seen no combine. That's going to change up a lot. Like it really is. And he says that's with that's with one of them being undrafted. You talk about Jordan Mason, I believe. Leon says, check out Tommy Mallet, the quarterback. Tommy Mallet. Feldman called him the smartest human alive. Runs like a 4.4, only quarterback to score a passing, rushing, and receiving touchdown in the first 15 minutes of the game. Wow. All right. I'll definitely check him out, man. Tommy Mallet. All right. So let me not forget that. And then Dalvin Thomas with the Super Chat contribution. Thank you so much for coming through. The wide receivers at Syracuse are tight. I want them. I was watching their game. Felt like it was on today at the gym, so it must have came on the other night. But, yeah, they put up some points. So, listen, a lot of players out there. I'm just making you aware of a bunch of different players. Trust me, I won't be drafting the same players over and over again. Hopefully our draft position changes. Maybe we'll move up. Maybe we'll move back. We'll see who's available. But again, I'll be working on putting out top 10 videos for each position. So that'll be right here on the channel. I'm also going to be doing full 2 to 3 round mock drafts, not just for 49ers, but to build my NFL fan base for, the teams in the NFL. So those will be uploaded as well. So make sure you guys New Year is going to be some new things. It's going to be cool. Appreciate you guys. Let's get this win tonight. I think that's the thing that matters the most. For most of us, we want us to win. For some of us, we want that draft position, all right? Love you guys. Always keep it faithful to the Bay. Peace.